Well, I guess we're going for it. So, there is a Dusk Till Dawn update, and a lot of people are going to be excited. A lot of people probably won't think it's too necessary, but this is great. I am really, really happy that they've chosen to make this decision. So, what's the decision? Well, let's read it together. We announced that the Living Legends Prism and Chain will be returning in Dusk Till Dawn in the form of cold foil serialized hand-drawn sketch cards, and everyone was excited. Then they announced that they were only doing it in the Belgian print run, but due to the overwhelming eagerness for these cards, they're now extending it to the APAC region. Okay, so there is going to be cards in the Japanese print run. However, they're not increasing the drop rate, so there is still only 10 of each overall, so 20 cards in total. They are just splitting up the distribution between Japan and Belgium now. This will be very interesting to see, because have they split down the middle? Have they split it in terms of actual player size or market size, if you will, which I think is the correct move to make, in all honesty. It's great that there's now a chance to pull them in either box. There's no distinction between the two aside from any, obviously, quality issues or misalignment of print sheets, if any of that happens again. Because now the total number of cards, if you will, are equivalent. Okay, there is a chance to find both in both. Granted, again, they might not all be, it might not be 10 in APAC, 10 in Belgium. It'll probably be, I assume they would take statistics into it and do a more grounded split of maybe, what were we using previously? 20%, right? So there'd be 4 in APAC versus 16 in Belgium, which still I'm happy with. It's more just the fact that they have acknowledged that what they did have some issues with some people, and everyone wants a chance of these cards, and everyone should have a fair chance. So it's really lovely to see that Legendary Studios has made this decision with all that information. Oh, anything else? Right, previews on the 30th of June, but it's not really the end of it, right? No. What's my plan for Dusk Till Dawn? Because this does change a little bit. I was a bit pensive over how much I want to go into Dusk Till Dawn. If you've been watching any of my other stuff, essentially how I've been paying for FaB is I've been selling off MTG and slowly converting it over to Flesh and Blood. And, well, I think this is a good enough reason for me to go essentially all in, if you will, on Dusk Till Dawn. Granted, when I say all in, I'm not going to go stupid. What I mean is, I'm going to sell off the last of my valuable cards. So I do have a small selection of alpha cards. Granted, there's nothing high-end in here. Well, when I say high-end, there's no rares, right? So we've got what? Celestial Prism, Ivory Cup, Conservator, right? Stone Giant, Burrowing, Evil Presence, Baelish Hero, Mons, Goblin Raiders, Raise Dead, Weakness, Skate Zombies, Disintegrate, Hill Giant, Pearled Unicorn, Hurloon Minotaur, Phantasmal Terrain, Plague Rat, Stone Rain, Soulnet, Wall of Swords, there's more than I realized, Twiddle, Phantom Monster, there we go, Circle of Protection Red, and a Plains 297, I believe is the number. Then we do also have a few other high-end cards from my decks that I decided to keep, just given the nature of them. But what is it? We've got a Yawgmoth's Will, a Lake of the Dead from Alliances. Then we also have a Flooded Strand from Onslaught, non-foil though, and a Laosu. So yeah, so I think this is about 5 cases worth at the moment. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trade it all in, plus maybe crack some of the other sealed MTG I have, and just convert it over. I did actually do a decent sell-off of sealed MTG. Again, I'm not a speculator, if you will. I've just grabbed stuff here and there that I thought was reasonably priced and worth holding on to. So like all of this was before the rise during COVID, or just after COVID. But obviously now we're in another lull or a crash for MTG. So still, I think this is worth doing. Obviously, the chances to pull a sketch card arguably astronomically low. But where's the fun in not going for it? Plus, the Marvels. They're touting them as special. I like collecting the Marvels anyway. I haven't gotten the Marvels, full set Marvels for Uprising. They're probably the only ones I'm interested in. The Codexes, they're pretty. They're not overwhelmingly pretty though to me, or desirable. So I haven't gone after them. But the Dragons and now Angels, because I do honestly assume that a decent chunk of the Marvels will be the Angel cards. Again, it can't be all 10, because we know that it's clearly stated there's only 8 Angels in Dusk Till Dawn. But still, a large number of them, even if you take Soroya out of it, we still have 7 or so as Marvel cards. And, this already looks great. So having the full set of the 10 Marvels would be a decent thing to go after. And then, of course, the Fable, which should be 140. So I think if I can grab 10 cases, I'll be happy. Maybe a little bit more. I'll see what breaks the bank. But definitely gonna convert the last of my MTG over, I think, and see what we can get. Now, I do just want to tack on to the end of this. What do you think about this decision? Because I honestly saw a clear split. Any discussions I had about it, anytime I posed the question, it was a clear split. Obviously, people affected were either, yeah, it sucks, oh well, yeah, it sucks, they should do better, or it doesn't really matter, it's such a low pool, or I buy singles, I don't open. And then those who do have it, again, because they're not affected by it, there's not a lot of interest in it. So I'm curious what exactly sparked this, because I would honestly say the complacency was really overshadowing this excitement for APAC from everything I've seen. So I'm curious, do you think this is the correct choice? I think it is. I don't think there should be a distinction between the two different sets, even as something as minor as 20 cards is still a distinction. If we've moved away from first edition and unlimited, then we should also standardize the card numbers, if you will, or the set size between the prints, right? So there shouldn't be something that has Belgium over Japan. Now, I know the other argument to that was that APAC will eventually get promos, North America, all these different places get promos. And again, this isn't a promo. That was the whole big deal about it. This is something inserted into the boxes and therefore distinguishes one print run from the other. So overall, I personally think it is not only the right choice as someone in APAC, someone who wants to shell out the money for Dusk Till Dawn and really enjoy the set, having a chance at these cards, no matter how minor it is, but also from a company perspective, because it really shows that they are really tapped into their community and they're really, considerate about the feelings of their community and will do what's right by the community from, again, my perspective. If you don't necessarily think this is completely the right choice, well, let me know. I'm more than happy to hear all sides of the argument. But yeah, I guess this line really sums it up, right? So now everyone worldwide will have the chance to open these breathtaking treasures. So I look forward to seeing what exactly they are on Friday the 30th. And, well, I'll probably start, going through all the spoilers properly this time around. I do want to stay tapped into FaB. I've started reading all the articles that come out almost daily, which is great. I think it's a healthy habit to have. It's like my news intake, if you will, because I don't follow world news. So getting some reading literacy out in some way is decent. And it's nice seeing, obviously, all the tournament stuff grow and go on. But yeah, you happy? Happy? I'm happy. I'm really happy. Yeah.